guys, how's it going? Thanks for clicking on my video. This video is all about what I didn't expect about motherhood and what I wish that I would have known. This is to anybody who is a new mom or going to be a new mom soon. These are kind of like the things that I found interesting when going into motherhood. A little about my background is I grew up around kids. So my mom had a day home, still has it, for like 35 plus years, I think now, which means that I grew up around kids. I grew up taking care of kids, changing diapers, playing with them, seeing all of their stages. But I didn't see the stage before 10 months. So having a newborn baby was new territory for me. I thought it was going to be a breeze because they're just potatoes and they just like eat, sleep, and poop, but they don't, and they experience a lot of growth, and it's also an experience with you and what pregnancy and childbirth and postpartum is like. So that was all new to me. The first thing, so I didn't expect all eyes to be on you. So when you're at a store and you have like a really cute baby, people will always look at you. They will smile at your baby and they'll ask questions. Sometimes you're not in like the mental state, you just want to get in and out. Sometimes your baby is not so cute, and sometimes their baby's wailing and there's nothing you can do, or you know why they're wailing and you're like, I can't do anything about it. And then people stare and people like ask if you're okay, and it's embarrassing sometimes. And I'm pretty good at like ignoring it or just being like, get away. Like, why are you talking to me about my baby? But my husband does not like it. Even when Theo still whines in the store, he's just like, what do we do? Like, he doesn't like people staring at us because our kid is acting up. But that doesn't have anything to do with your parenting, and that's the kind of the thing that people don't realize, people that don't have kids realize. I got a lot of comments from like older ladies, and they're like, oh yeah, it's normal, you know, because like they've raised kids, they know how kids are. But then you get like the 20-year-old or just somebody who has never experienced kids, and they're like, oh my god, like you're such a bad parent kind of look, and that sucks. So I didn't expect all eyes to be on you all the time. There was one situation that was really embarrassing. Theo was probably 3 months, I'm gonna guess. And I went to the store and I was just kind of looking around for fun because being at home all the time is boring. He woke up from his nap. Usually he's really good when I went to the store, and he would sleep in his car seat the entire time I was at the store. And I could look around and do things, but this time he woke up and he was very unhappy because he was stuck in his car seat in the stroller and he wanted out. But when he wanted out, he wanted to squirm around in my arms, and I didn't want to hold him while shopping. I just left him in his thing. Like, no, you have your pacifier, you're okay. And he wailed and he screamed, and people thought that I was like abusing him or something. The manager of the store came over to me and was like, do you need help? Are you okay? And I kept saying, he's fine. He just doesn't like being in the car seat. People like were whispering. People literally went around me and they were like looking at me, and I was like, I will show everybody here what is going on. So I took him out of his car seat. Instant smile. He stopped wailing, he stopped crying, he just smiled at everybody and was like, yay, I'm out of my car seat. And everyone's like, oh, like, I know my kid, you know, like, back off. You don't know, like, I'm a good mom, like, get out of here. Everybody was like, oh, he's so cute. Like, people who literally were just in the aisle next to me, and I could hear them whispering about like, oh my god, he's crying so bad, or oh, she's such a bad mom. Like, now you're all up in my grill and you're like, oh, he's so cute, like, congrats, or like, you're such a good mom, like saying these things, and like, I literally heard you. I hate that. I hate that. And that was something that I didn't expect that people would do. Another thing that I didn't expect was that you don't actually need much clothes. I don't know if this is because Theo wasn't like a spit up baby or not, but like I got so many clothes. I was changing his outfit like 4 times a day just to get through his outfits so that he can wear them at least once because they grow so fast. He literally was like my practice doll, just like getting him all dolled up and stuff. And definitely this time around with the twins, I'm not doing that. Yeah. That's something that I didn't expect. People buy so many baby clothes, like it's like a thing that everybody buys. And I get it because they're cute as heck, but you don't need as many as you think. Mostly just sleepers. All newborn clothes should just be zippered sleepers. They don't need undershirts and like all of these, they don't need pants. Why do they need pants? Why do they need shirts that don't button? Like at the bottom. Like, you're not gonna put your newborn in that. Like, that's not warm. You're just gonna put them in sleepers or swaddle them. Why do you need all these clothes? Another thing I didn't expect was breastfeeding to be so freaking hard. My breastfeeding journey, I have a video of it, maybe I'll link it here, was hectic and it was hard. And I thought it was just gonna be this beautiful thing where it happened so quick because some women are like, oh yeah, you just put it on. You know, my mom was like that. She said that she just like put the baby on and tapped it on the butt a little bit to jolt it to drink, and then all of a sudden she latched, and it's like, that is not the case for my son. And that is not went down. And people will give you advice. People will think that you're not doing right or judge you for having a hard time, but it's not a natural thing. Everyone thinks it is. Birth is a natural thing. Your body knows what to do. Pregnancy is a natural thing. Breastfeeding is something that you learn to do. Breast milk is a natural thing, getting supply. Your body does it for you, it's natural. But knowing what to do with it and like how to breastfeed your baby, that is a tool, that is a skill that you learn and that your baby learns. I didn't expect it to be so hard. Another one is I didn't expect baby blues would affect me. I have never had depression issues. I have seen people around me have depression issues, but I never thought that it would be something that I would go through. I didn't go through postpartum, just baby blues in general. Like you still get pretty sad. Sometimes when I say things or cry or like feel really bad inside, I would logically, I shouldn't be feeling this. Like, I have a good life, my baby's healthy, all these things, but you feel something else because of the hormones. So I didn't expect it to affect me as much as it did. Also, I didn't know that baby blues was a thing. I thought postpartum depression, like full-blown postpartum depression, I knew about that, but I didn't think that there was like a milder version that's normal and transitional and that most women go through it. I didn't know that. So that was something that I didn't expect. Okay, another thing I didn't expect is not to bounce back right away. My mom always told me stories about like how like she bounced back so fast. She had my sister and she was down in the cafeteria at the hospital a couple days later or something, and somebody was like, oh, who are you here to see? And she's like, I just had a baby. And people were like, what? Because she just bounced back that quick. And so she always told me this story, and it's like, that was what my reality, what I thought, because sometimes it can be a little bit hereditary how you bounce back. So I just assumed I'd be like my mom, where I didn't get stretch marks, where my belly would go back to normal. It doesn't. That's really, really rare, and that's really great that she had that experience because that's awesome, but that is not what I experienced, and I didn't expect it not to happen that way. Your belly takes time, and it's so weird feeling. It's like sloshy and weird, and all your organs are kind of there, and your abs feel weird. You're not carrying as much weight anymore. So it's weird. It's weird. And I didn't expect it to not bounce back really, really quickly. So another thing I didn't expect from motherhood and like birth is that your healing, your postpartum healing, would take more than 6 weeks. When you have an OB, you just get scheduled in for your 6-week appointment, so then they can check you and see if you're healing properly. But when you have a midwife, your midwife is very active in your postpartum care, sees you I believe the day after, 3 days after, and she comes to you, and then you go to see her a week later, and then like whenever you need her kind of thing, like you call. My postpartum care she was very involved, and I didn't expect to need so much therapy. I thought my body would just know what to do, but I needed help. I needed to go to acupuncture, I needed to go to chiropractor, I needed to go to pelvic floor physio. Like I needed these tools and these people accessible to me. A lot of women, one, don't have that because they only have OBs that see you at 6 weeks. Then they also like don't know that like pelvic floor physio is a thing, that it takes long time. Like I was in physio for a long time. Like Theo was probably 4.5 months by the time I was done pelvic floor physiotherapy, and then I was 6 months by the time I stopped acupuncture. I have constantly seeing my chiropractor because your body changes. Everything's going back to normal. And then by the time I went back to normal, I got pregnant again and had to see him for pregnancy. I didn't expect postpartum care to be as intense and to be as long as it took, because it's always like, oh, your 6-week appointment and then you're clear and then you can do everything. No, I wasn't allowed to run at 6 weeks. I was only allowed to do squats or whatever. Like my pelvis wasn't strong enough to withstand exertion, constant gravity hitting on my pelvis. So like that took longer. And people don't tell you that, so I didn't expect it. If your postpartum journey takes you longer than 6 weeks, that is normal. There's no time limit on healing your body. They say that your collagen doesn't go back to normal until 2 years post breastfeeding. Another one of what I didn't expect about motherhood is how much support I needed with Theo. Support when Theo wasn't sleeping and I needed to bounce him, and I couldn't do that because of my pelvic floor. So I needed to reach out to like my husband. When my husband wasn't there, I needed to figure out a thing. So I used my exercise ball chair to bounce him. Support on healing my body, like I was saying, like all of these support people had an act in my postpartum healing. Support in that I needed for my mental state. I cried every time I talked about Theo's birth for a good 8 months. I still cry. I mean, I'm pregnant, but I still cry when I talk about the trauma that I had. I didn't expect to need as much mental state support as I did. And then also I didn't expect to need so much support in breastfeeding. I had a lactation consultant, my doulas, my midwife, I got referred to a breastfeeding doctor. Didn't think that I would need so many people helping me with breastfeeding. I thought it would just be, okay, here you go. And I needed all of these people. You need so much support in breastfeeding sometimes, and I didn't expect that. Another thing I didn't expect about motherhood is how cloth diapering is so easy. With Theo, I bought a whole bunch of cloth diapers. I did all the research when I was pregnant, and I told Shane, I was like, okay, we're doing the same thing with the twins, but I said, okay, we're new parents. We haven't experienced a newborn before. What we're gonna do is normal cloth diapers, all size cloth diapers, they start at about 10 pounds. So your baby needs to be about 10 pounds. You can get newborn ones, but I didn't want to waste my money when the newborn stage is so short. So I said, okay, we're gonna buy regular ones and we're gonna start cloth diapering at 10 pounds. Anything before that, they're gonna be in regular diapers, and we're gonna kind of learn a routine with our new baby because we're new parents. So let's learn one challenge at a time. So I was expecting cloth diapering to be so hard. It is a lot to learn and a lot to get in a routine with, but they're not hard. Like, cloth diapering is very easy. And so I didn't expect it to be so easy. So that was the plus. Okay, this one is for all my natural people out there. I didn't expect natural things not to work. For example, Theo had eczema on the inside of his arm, and it was just that one spot. And I tried coconut oil, I tried natural balms, I tried other remedies, whatever. I had natural laundry detergent, I had natural lotions and cream, like just everything that was just like natural. I just wanted to know exactly what I was putting on my baby, and it didn't work, and I didn't expect it not to work. So I ended up having to use cortisone cream. It was still from a really good company that had like tea tree in it and like other good natural stuff, but it did have cortisone cream, and that was the only thing that worked. So I tried the natural, but I ended up having to do the science, and it was a realization that sometimes natural stuff isn't the best. Science is tested, okay? Usually dermatologist tested. They're isolated proteins from derivatives of the natural ingredients that we see. Now I try to know my baby more, and I use this in my day-to-day life with, okay, let's see the science, let's see the natural, and let's try to figure out a good in between. Okay, another thing I didn't expect about motherhood is that I would have to worry about poop constantly. Poop is very important to monitor. How many poops they're doing, the consistency of poop. You need to know color, you need to know everything about poop. I didn't expect to journal pooping. Theo had a really bad constipation issue where we had to use laxatives that go up his bum, and prunes didn't even work. So again, with like the natural, obviously I tried prunes first, that didn't work. So then my doctor recommended Restore-Lax half dose, that started working, but I had to be on it. Like as soon as his consistency started to harden, like some Restore-Lax in your water, or like, okay, we're having prunes. You really have to watch because it can affect their growth, which I didn't know. That constipation can affect their growth. And so that was something that I didn't expect, is to like worry about poop so much. Okay, another thing that I didn't expect is how dirty babies get. How do these babies get dirty? Underneath their nails and like their necks, and just like, how? You're not doing anything, you're just laying there. You get dirtier faster than I do. How? It's crazy, and how hard it is to bathe them sometimes because they're so squirmy, and you're trying to get in their neck rolls, and you're trying to get like in their arm rolls, and their leg rolls, and their toes, and they're curling their hands, and you're trying to get in their nails. Like, it's so hard to bathe them sometimes, and I just didn't think that it would be so hard. They're just potatoes. Like, they're just laying there. You should be able to bathe them. It's weird how dirty they get. You're just like, you're literally not doing anything. Why are you so dirty? And the last thing that I didn't expect about motherhood, or I didn't really expect from my partner, that Shane would be such an involved dad. So like every time since we met, like we would talk about kids, and he would talk about like how he wants to like teach our kids things, do certain activities with our kids. That was like all when they're older, 5+. And so I didn't really think that he would be super involved with newborns. He is. He really stepped it up. So most men that I know just let the women, it's like the woman's life changes, and then their life doesn't change. Like they go out and they still like hang out with friends, and they do things, and they're just like not helping. And he was like on me, like as soon as like we had the baby, he was making me smoothies every day. I had to let them get to room temperature. Still, he was like making sure that I was eating. He was cleaning the house. He was doing things that he knew he could do because I had to feed the baby. And even when I was having a hard time breastfeeding and I was pumping, he would like offer to feed Theo. He was even so involved in the delivery that he wanted to deliver Theo. Like he would have delivered him. He's a medic in the military. He talked to my midwife and was like, hey, is this allowed? Can I deliver the baby when he comes out? And she said yes, depending on like what circumstances happening. And obviously he couldn't because Theo got stuck, but he really stepped up. It was just like great to have a partner that wanted to be involved. But yeah, so those are all the things that I didn't expect from motherhood that I wish I would have known. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please follow me on Instagram and subscribe to my channel.